Flyfishstore Talks Fishing. Talks Fishing would be a series of videos when we go fishing with a Draycote, Eyebrook or Thornton regular. We delve into their fly box and we discuss with them their favourite methods of catching fish. We hope you enjoy.
Good morning and welcome to Eyebrook. I'm Lloyd. With me today, going out of the water, I hope to try and catch some fish on damsel nymphs, is local resident angler, Bill Law. Today then, what's your approach going to be when we go out looking for these damsel feeding fish on the nymphs?
Well, ideally we're going to find nymphs running in to the weeds and damsels coming off.
Yeah.
I mean, the main feature is the nymphs. Yeah. That's the main food source. Yeah. So we're looking for damsels coming in. Just
trying to intercept them as they come into the margins, into the weed, start crawling up and hatching off, and we're trying to intercept them just before that sort of phase, while in the water. Yeah.
I mean, we were here Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I took a couple of very nice trout for the pot, and they were full of damsel nymphs. Yeah. And in among the damsel nymphs were odd snails.
Yeah. That's the beauty of the weed beds, isn't it? There's all sorts in there.
Which suggests that, yes, they're browsing around in the weed bed, waiting for the nymphs to come to them.
Yeah,
often, of course, you see them chasing the nymph, but some obviously more mature fish have caught on that if they stay there, there's a home delivery.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. So what's the setup going to be, Bill? I'm thinking with this sort of scenario and what type of fishing we're going to do today, I'm thinking of washing line floater. Maybe something like that with a baby on the point with some nymphs above it.
I would put nymphs on the 2 droppers. I'd fish 3 flies.
Yeah.
And I would put nymphs on the droppers, and whereas I often fish a booby on the point, I'd put a buoyant blue damsel.
Yeah.
Occasionally it catches.
Yeah.
But it always seems correct to be in keeping with 2 damsel nymphs and an adult damsel.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think I might put on a something like a bejesus on the point. So you're talking about damsel booby on the point, maybe, and then a couple of nymphs above it. Just very similar to yourself.
Yeah.
Olive in design and olive in pattern, really. And we'll just see how we go. I think it's important that we try and find a bit of water that's got a good 1.5 to 2 foot above the weed bed. Give us a decent area to fish in. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, the fish, they don't worry about the weed bed.
No.
But we need 1 to 2 foot of water.
Oh, yeah.
And the weed is growing so rapidly.
Yeah.
even last Tuesday, it will be different.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to, I think the wind could like it. I think drifting might be out the window with the wind. I think we might have to find an area that we like, that looks suitable, gives us what we need.
Yeah.
Put the hook down. If we don't get any interest, we'll probably move on.
Yes.
Give it 20 minutes, half hour. If we don't get any interest, keep moving on, and hopefully eventually we'll find a weed bed with some fish in it, and we'll get amongst them.
I'm sure the weed beds will have it. I would hope that behind the peninsula island, there's some calm water, but we will find out.
We'll find out, Bill. Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to see any more videos like this, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel below. Or link. Right, well, should we get amongst them? Let's go.
Up and at them. down there, the conditions are totally different with the shelter from these trees and the peninsula. The still area is in fact all weed bed. And often down here there are massive hatches of damselflies. What I'm fishing with today, I've got a sage 10 foot with a sage single-handed spey line. I've got a 15 foot carbofluorine leader with a little blue damsel on the point and two little damsel nymphs about 5 feet apart. So there's 3 flies, 2 are damsel nymphs and 1 is used on the point. It's got a small foam head which just makes it float and keeps my leader in the top few inch or two. My fishing at Eyebrook has been the last 6 years. Prior to that, I fished mainly at Rutland with trips to Buell and a number of the West Country. I must admit, finding Eyebrook, and it almost coincided with IFA taking over, and the stocking policy made a big improvement, and it's been a superb fishery ever since. Whoops. Swallow diving at us. The fish have been quite superb. My grandson and his family love them, so I take a few for the pot. His wife's an Italian lady, and she obviously likes cooking fish. And the quality of fish from here is tremendous. My next door neighbour is a lovely lady. She's about 87. She lost her husband recently, and she really likes the odd trout, especially when her sons come to visit. So that's another reason for taking the odd trout for the pot. The Blue Daddy is an option. You can use a booby just as happily on the point, and it works. I'm going to change my point damsel, adult damsel, for a damsel booby, because I think it will be easier to fish in this wind.
Quite hard work, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I'm doing, I'm putting on a damselfly tied with a booby head.
Well, I'm out the water, Bill, so it's all yours, kid, all right?
Yeah. He's on a dropper, I think, or a blue booby, or a blue damsel. On the damsel nymph, on the little nymph that we started on. Oh, you're getting very clumsy in your old age, Billy. There he is. There you go. It is the little damsel nymph, a little ultra chenille tail, dubbed body with just a little living fibre in it, and a partridge hackle for its legs. We're fishing over the weed beds now and actually hooking the weeds occasionally. Now the beauty of the weed beds here, apart from the difficulty it creates for fishing sometimes, is that you have a great big larder. And at this time of the year, it has obviously snails and other sources of food, along with perches for the damsel nymphs. That's one of the residents round this little corner. No.
All I'm doing is pressing across
Yeah.
the wind.
Yeah. No. Just get some fish in the boat, that's all that matters.
It's on yours, Bill. What, two on? Double shooter, Bill.
Yep.
Oh, lost them both.
Oh. To be quite honest, this Eyebrook's about the only place I've ever seen blue damsel, damsels actually being taken, adult damsels. Daft it may seem, I wouldn't normally carry many of those fly patterns out with me.